Let me first welcome Matt Fisher with PickChamp to the stage. Matt, thanks for being here. Let's put your hands together for Matt Fisher.
Thank you, Jessica. Good morning, everyone. I am Matt Fisher, and it's good to be here in Sedalia. I grew up some in Sedalia. I went to kindergarten at Heberhun, and I graduated from Sacred Heart High School and even took classes for a little while here at State Fair Community College. I'll give you a little bit of my entrepreneurial background. About 4.5 years ago, Jessica and I were at Economic Development, or I guess we found out that I was there by a year after she had left. I had heard about a startup weekend in Columbia in September of 2012, and I went to it, and it totally energized me because I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit, and working in a cube every day just got tiresome, and I knew I needed to do more. So about a month after that startup weekend, I was watching YouTube videos on how to throw together a website. So I threw together a WordPress site, sportsformulator.com, did data-driven sports predictions. It took off right away. I think I had 40,000 people on the site by the end of that year. So I decided to go all in. I quit DED and went to be a full-time entrepreneur. In building Sports Formulator, I found that DraftKings and FanDuel started to dominate fantasy sports. So that started to become the hot new trend in sports and kind of hit mainstream culture. I also found that a lot of my customers would want to challenge my predictions. So I came up with an idea for an app that would basically combine picking games with sort of the aspects of daily fantasy sports. And that's when PickChamp got created. I started about 2 years ago on this idea and have been through numerous developers who couldn't really get anything done and were extremely unreliable. I finally found some in Columbia that were able to work with me to build PickChamp into the web app that it is now at pickchamp.me. 69% of what people use their phones for are games or social networking. So what PickChamp is basically social gaming, where you can challenge your friends, family members, or just see how you compete in a global audience against everyone picking that particular event. Social gaming becomes engaging, competitive, it's connected, fun, and it's easy to play. It basically connects you to the content you're already consuming and love. It just gives you another level of interaction. This is what PickChamp looks like. It's simple questions, and then the answers are weighted. The lower the score, the more likely the outcome. So as you can see here, this is from our Sweet 16 contest. The higher the score, the more likely the team is to lose versus the lower scores when they will win. And then if you're correct, you get that number of points, and then the total number of points is the champ. Here's what our market looks like. There's billions of people that love sports, entertainment, and politics. That's kind of what it's designed to do. It's not simply a sports app. That's what we've kind of started with because it's the easiest to get into and it's daily. Smartphone subscriptions, 2.7 billion worldwide. I mean, that's never going to slow down. The biggest trend that we found is 77% of people now watch television with a second screen in their hand, whether it be a tablet or their phone. And then we're looking for the daily sports or daily fantasy sports refugees. So many people have grown tired of throwing money in and basically playing against computer algorithms and professional daily fantasy sports players. So they're looking for somewhere else to go to still engage with their favorite event or team and still get that competitive juices flowing on a daily basis. PickChamp's looking to partner with radio stations, sports bars, sports and entertainment websites, entertainment venues, anyone that wants to add a level of connectivity to their event is what we're looking to partner with. This is some of the feedback we've gotten from testing the app so far. People really like how it's simple to use and there isn't as many options as what you would find with a daily fantasy sports where you have to go analyze, hundreds of different players to do that. You basically have who's going to win this game or will this player get a hit? Very simple questions that make it very easy and quick to do. So people can do it on their commute if they're sitting in traffic or when they wake up or whatever time of day fits convenient for them. They don't have to dedicate a day and hours of research to make their picks to feel competitive. They can simply go pick in 2 minutes and be ready to go. So what's next for us? Users, we just need more users to try it out. We're still kind of in our beta version of our web app at pickchamp.me. It's an easy sign up. We have contests right now for the All-Star game next week. We have our football contests out as well. There's new contests coming up all the time, so try it out and contact me with whatever feedback that you have, whether it be good or bad. I'm looking for feedback on what everyone likes so that, version 2, we can gear it more towards a bigger audience. We've had about 200 people that have tested it out so far, so that's kind of where our feedback's come back. But as we grow, we'll want to know feedback from more people. We're looking to get sponsorship partners, to do prizes. We're looking for people that would want to have a PickChamp event at their location, whether it be a bar, entertainment venue, or a local sports team. And then we're just looking to continue to add features and build a mobile app maybe, but I've learned in the past couple weeks about progressive web apps, and I think they're probably going to take over native apps. So instead of downloading apps to your phone, I think you're probably going to just start saving websites there, because the websites are going to be able to do everything an app does on your phone pretty soon as well. So that's everything about PickChamp. That's my email address. You can go to pickchamp.me to make your picks. I'll take any questions anybody has. Yeah.
So right now, if you get on there, are you playing just basically for bragging rights? Or can you
We have prizes. It's free. It depends on the contest. We've had some partners that offer prizes, or I'll get something to offer as a prize. But most people like to just play for bragging rights. That's the biggest thing from the surveying I've done, is most people, are playing against a group of their friends and they want to win. Yes?
So how do you make money?
We will do it from the partnerships. We'll license the software out. What I'd like to do is we can basically customize it. We could have here like a State Fair champ, and we would rebrand everything as like State Fair champ, and our software would basically be what's running underneath that. Yes?
So you launched in what year? Or when did you?
We launched the web app, I think in May. It was finally ready to go. I was doing testing all along while trying to do that, while just throwing together stuff on a WordPress site, doing a simple little contact form, and we had several hundred people that had signed up just on that over about a year. And I was using my Formulator audience to help, because I knew a lot of them would like to play this as well. So it's been good to get that feedback, see how often people will play, what they like, and I've surveyed a couple hundred people now that have given me really good feedback on what they like, what they don't. And that's how get to this point, but there's a lot I still want to change in building the final version of it, or the next version, I should say.
What are your biggest obstacles then?
Finding developers. Finding, there's a lot of people that can program as part of a corporation, but there's not a lot that can for startups. You've got to be very nimble. You've got to be able to adjust. You've got to be able to really test things out and put the whole thing together. You can't just work on little pieces of it. I've really looked around the world. Like, I met someone in Colombia who was trying to put me in touch with developers outside of the country too. I mean, it's extremely difficult because the really good developers are booked so far out that you've got to wait months to get in line. Any other questions?
What kind of overhead costs do you?
You have server space. Marketing will become one. I really haven't spent much on marketing yet because we've just been sort of testing it out. But for football season, that's what I'm kind of gearing towards now, on creating sort of a marketing campaign for that, because that's more of a weekly event, so people don't have to worry about playing every day or anything. They've got a time to build up, and it'll be the most popular. I mean, people are used to making, picks for football once a week. We'll probably have contests for a Thursday night game, then like a whole contest for the weekend, and a contest for the Sunday night game, like the Monday night game. We'll do college and pro as well. So overhead is minimal really right now. It'll definitely increase when I have to go in and get the second round of development done. Yeah.
So I'm not familiar with the space. Who's your competition?
There's no one that does it exactly like this, but there's, several people do pick'em contests, but they're the old version of you get 1 point for getting a correct answer. We basically are rewarding people for taking the chance, picking those upsets. DraftKings and FanDuel do the more traditional fantasy sports where you're doing player-oriented. I haven't really found that anyone's kind of doing this in entertainment and sports right now with the way we do it.
How many users do you have now?
We have about 250 registered.
And they have to go online to register, or can you do it as a
Yes.
guest? Or?
Yes, you've got to register, and that's just so we can track your picks. Don't worry if you sign up. I don't send more than one email a week unless there's several huge events in a week, which rarely happens.
What's your ultimate goal besides this and seeing its success? I mean, have you got something in mind for?
I don't know. I mean, I feel I want to, keep going with businesses for the rest of my life. I mean, I don't want a retirement plan because I want to do what I love for the rest of my life, or at least as long as I physically can. I'm sure I'll have more ideas after this one. I mean, I'd like to get this one up and going, and I'm sure something else will come along that will interest me, or someone else will have an idea I'll want to get and be a part of. It's hard to say.
So out of those 250 right now, how many of them are pretty active?
Depends on the sport. That's kind of what I've really found is there's people that are very tied to one particular sport. So right now, not real active because baseball's not nearly as popular as other sports that we've done. We did like a pro wrestling contest for WrestleMania, and it's the biggest contest that we've ever done. They only have like one event a month. So I don't know if that's part of what gets that big audience or not. It's still something, we kind of have to test out and see. I think for football, that will be our biggest one, just because it's got the longest lead up. Right now, with being summertime and just baseball, with baseball, my biggest challenge with it is, game time. Sometimes there's early games, and then people basically have to do it in the morning because if they go to work, at 8 o'clock, there might be a game that starts at 11. So if they haven't made their picks, that contest is basically over for them. So we've kind of scaled back on how many baseball contests that we have and focused more on days where there's only night games. That's why we've kind of thrown up the All-Star Game contest now. It just went up, and gives people a week to make their picks, and it's more of a bigger event. For football, and I think with basketball and hockey, those have shown to be much more popular as well.
Is there anything you have to do with like licensing to use the protein and stuff?
No. We think it falls under fair use. We're not using it commercially at all. So if the leagues contact us, then that'd be something we'd have to deal with, but the risk we run with anything. Yeah.
Did you say earlier that you were an alternative to fantasy sports?
Yes. To the traditional way of where you don't have to go analyze hundreds of players. You go pick
How
who
does
wins.
fantasy sports make their money? I'm not clear.
Most of them do it through fees. You pay to enter a contest, but they hemorrhage money. Like DraftKings and FanDuel are in the process of merging because they realize neither one of them can make money without throwing out millions of dollars every week that they don't bring in. Yes.
So the daily upkeep, the daily updates or setups of contests, is that something you do
That is mine
yourself?
right now.
You do that?
I will eventually, hopefully, with a future generation of this, we will have APIs that will run all of that. Unfortunately, there's not an API for all of the contests kind of that we want to do. Like for the All-Star Game contest, those are contest-specific questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I would manually still have to do a lot of those. But when we would say do NFL Week 1, we could just set that up and run all of the matchups, and all we have to go in is set the weighting as to which team, is the favorite and underdog to win.
Well,
Yeah.
Do you think fantasy sports and those outfits, do they do any sponsorships? Do they make money on advertising?
They have gotten investment from the leagues, so they've become billion-dollar companies I think they're about 10 years old now. They partner with individual teams as well, so you might go to a stadium and you'll see the DraftKings or FanDuel logo on there. They're more league-specific, though. Kind of what I want to do with PickChamp is you would go into the arena and we would have a game set up for the State Fair basketball game that would be specific to that game. Like how many points would a player score? How many will the team score? Who wins? and that type of thing. So it's about really getting more specific with attracting people to your arena to get more involved and just engage more with the content that they're there to see.
Yeah. Do you use spreads or is it just a straight pick 'em?
No, I'm definitely waiting to see how the New Jersey case that the Supreme Court agreed to hear last week is going to go, because that can change business dramatically, but we're not going to know about that for a year or so. So we do have some contests for spreads, but we have to be very careful with that. So that's why everything is free until they kind of sort the laws out. It would be great for business, if they do legalize gambling throughout the United States.
Ultimately, is that would you like your site to be a gambling site?
I just want my site to generate a lot of revenue, and I think that's the easiest way to do it. They estimate that there's hundreds of billions of dollars gambled illegally in the United States every year. So if we can make it to where you can just do it right there on your phone, right here from your chair, who knows how many billions of dollars that's worth, even trillions maybe.
Okay, so if there's no more questions, I get the last question. What can we as a community
Try the site out. Let me know what you think. Shoot me an email or come talk to me today. I'll be around. Let me know what you like, what you don't. If you have ideas for contests, I'm always open to different things. I definitely want to get into reality TV. It's not something I really watch, but I'm hoping to get a partner that can keep me up to date on that or something. Because I know that's a huge audience, and I don't think there's really a lot out there for it. So it's definitely something I'd like to get into.
Very good. Let's give Matt a round of applause.